Hi everyone, this is Jacob Gould with Barrington Legal. I'm here to talk to you today about the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Securities Act, otherwise known as the CARES Act. Live from the bunker. You can see that we're doing fine over here, but I wanted to address two different areas of that act, which are the Payroll Protection Program, the PPP, and the stimulus package, because we've received hundreds of emails and phone calls and text messages from clients, friends, and family asking about how this affects them as small business owners, how it affects them as employees, and for those of you who are unemployed, how it affects you as well, because frankly, well, it does affect everyone. First, we will address the PPP. Essentially, the government has allocated $399 billion in funds to go towards small businesses. These loans will become available for application on April 3rd, 2020. It's important that you speak with your financial planners, and we'll go over what you need to get ready to apply for those loans in a moment. But why, right? Why do these loans exist? Well, one, small businesses are hemorrhaging right now, right? They're hemorrhaging cash on expenses, payroll, utilities, rent. These are all expenses that companies have to pay on a monthly basis, on a weekly basis, even a daily basis, right? And we can't survive unless we have some sort of end in sight right now, because it's hard to run a business when everybody's ordered to stay home. So the government says, okay, we'll give you $399 billion, but really it's like putting a Band-Aid on a bullet wound, because you're gonna have 30 million companies applying for this amount of money, and it's not gonna work out well for a lot of them. That's why there's a first in line, first in time kind of a thing. You wanna get that loan application in as soon as possible. I don't know what time it's going to be made available. The U.S. Treasury Department hasn't released a final guideline for lenders, and the SBA is still working hand in hand with them to come to that an understanding as to what the loan application process will look like. And once we know more, we will tell you more. Anyway, what does the loan cover, right? If you are approved for the loan, this is what it covers. It covers an 8-week period, right? An 8-week period of time from after you get your loan approved and you get the funds and allocated, etc. That 8-week period, right? If you use those loan funds for a covered expense would be payroll, utilities, rent, health and retirement benefits, okay? If you use those funds for those purposes during that covered period, then that portion of the loan that you take out will be forgiven, right? It's an SBA federally guaranteed loan. There will be an interest rate that you have to pay on that loan, up to 4%. We still don't know what the interest rate is going to be, but we do know that there is going to be an interest rate. I've heard between 0.75%, fingers crossed, up to 4%, right? We don't know. It's important to realize, though, that payroll expenses, if you're paying employees more than $100,000 on an annual basis, only the first $100,000 will be covered, right? On a bi-weekly basis, or however you pay your employees. If you're paying them more than $100,000, the excess would not be covered expense, and you would be expected to repay that portion of the loan plus the interest rate. Okay, what do you need to have ready to go? This is what you need to have ready to go as far as on April 3rd to fill out your application. The most important thing that you need to have a grasp on if you're a small business owner is your monthly average payroll, okay? Your monthly average payroll is important because you can take up to 2.5 times whatever your monthly average payroll is in that loan, right? So say, for instance, your monthly average payroll is $50,000 taken between January 31st, 2019 to January 31st, 2020, right? That's what we did for our company. We looked at that and we said, okay, this is our average payroll. Then we can take 2.5 times that. So I'll use easy numbers for you guys. Say it's our average monthly payroll is $50,000, right? That means that we can take up to $125,000 in this loan. Now that loan doesn't have to be used for payroll only, obviously, right? You can use that for utilities, you can use that for rent, you can use that for health and retirement benefits. I would speak with your financial planner, and I would speak with your bookkeeper, or look in your QuickBooks. I would get your profit and loss sheets ready. I would get your W-2s ready for all your employees. I would look and see what my average monthly payroll was, and I would go from there. You need to know your EIN number, have that on hand. You need to know your business's legal name. Know your DBA as well. your legal address, right? Make sure you check with the Secretary of State. You may as well print out or just save as a PDF your articles of organization or incorporation and your statement of information. If you have any questions in regards to any of this stuff, please feel free to contact us at contact@barringtonlegal.com, or you can call our offices at 310-231-8755. Now I want to address with you the stimulus package and what that means for you. If you filed your tax returns last year and you had a gross annual income of $75,000 or less, you can expect to be receiving a check for $1,200. If you're married and you filed with a gross annual income of less than $150,000, you can expect to recover a check for $2,400. For each dependent child in your family, you can expect to recover at least $500. I would speak with your financial planners or your lenders and see if that number is in fact accurate. These are guidelines, and whether or not you can claim them as dependents. Okay, so if you make more than $75,000 or $150,000, you're going to get a diminishing stimulus package, right? For every $100 you make in excess of $75,000 or $150,000, your stimulus check will go down by $5. So that means that if I make $99,000 and I filed independently last year, I will be receiving a check for $0. It means that if I am married and I filed a gross annual income last year of $198,000, it means that I will receive $0. So for every $100, you lose $5. I hope this was able to answer some of your questions on a macro level. If not, you can always contact me. You guys have all my contact information. We'd be happy to help you. And yeah, have a safe quarantine. And I look forward to seeing you when we're all released. Take care. Bye-bye.